yet. This is all very different actually. And sorry, I was going off my clock in my kitchen and the clock was 5 minutes slow or fast. Anyway, it was not the right time. It was 5 minutes slow. Yeah, so it was actually 10 o'clock 5 minutes ago when I thought it was 5 minutes too. So I do apologise, but I am here and this is all a bit different here. So YouTube's changed its layout. But anyway, welcome. My name's Leanne Peters and this is our personal healing event for some of my patrons for January 2024. So I want to thank you so much to send out a thank you to my patrons. I've got 6 people on the list today and I've got your names here in this little pot. So I just need to get my cards. I had a real hard time finding my cards because I only got back yesterday or late last night from my weekend, and I had my cards in Janice's bags that she sent me. Thanks, Janice. And I couldn't remember where I put them because I did sort of a quick pack up. I thought I put them on my bed in the caravan. So I went in and I couldn't find them anywhere. Then I thought I'll go back out and see if I can find them, and they'd fallen on the floor. So I've just found my cards and all is well. So welcome. So I will be using my cards today. The plan is that I'm going to pull the names from the pot and connect with each person individually for about 10 minutes. And then just depending on what they need or what you need, if you're one of those people, will depend on sort of how long, but it'll be about 10 minutes. Hi Robin, welcome. So as I connect with each person, I'm going to start each connection with a healing energy card. And then I'm going to tune in and I'm going to ask, basically I become sensitive to whatever's loudest in your energy. And the way I detect that is I know the configuration of my energy really well. So I know what it feels like to be in my space and in my energy and in my body. So when I tune into people, I start feeling things in my body that I don't usually feel, that aren't typically energies that I would feel. Hi, butterfly. Oh, hi, Marianne. So I'll tune into those energies and then express and interpret those as best as I can. We'll get energy moving. If something feels blocked or heavy or stuck or whatever, I will also use my intuition to guide us through shifting things and moving energy as needed, or bringing energy through, or whatever whatever feels to be needed. Then I'll pull a healing energy card to finish that connection. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's just very much in the moment. So I trust in the unfolding of the moments as I connect, and I encourage you to trust that as well. And hopefully something that, if I'm connecting with you, hopefully something, or hopefully the whole thing supports you. That would be awesome. And if you're waiting for your turn or you're not on the list today, it's okay. I trust you've been led here for a reason. And I trust that you're open to receiving what you need from the connections that are made. So pay attention to the things and the aspects that speak to you, and see what happens. So I think I'm ready to start. So let's start by seeing who's first. So the first person is this person, and this person is, it's Nicki Mohler. So Nicki, please take a nice big breath and we'll see which healing energy card you need. Now sometimes I'm going to explain the card, sometimes I won't. It just depends, because the energy will guide us basically. Oops. Okay, we'll just get these guys back in. Okay, Nicki, the best card you need to start this connection is this one. It's from the first deck, Healing Energy Cards 1, and it's Mental Healing, card 19. And it says down here, healing of your mind through exploration and inner reflection. Get back in charge of your thoughts, clear your mind, positivity and awareness. This is almost feels like parting the clouds on the lower, more negative, heavier, unhealthy thoughts. So Nikki, take a nice big breath and let's tune in and see what's loudest in your energy. So what I'm feeling, the first thing, and I'll probably talk with my eyes closed for some of the time because it just helps me focus. What I'm seeing is this sort of tunnel that trails off in front of you, and it's in the shape of a triangle. I can't quite make with my hands here, but a triangle pointing down. So it's like a triangle and it's a tunnel that goes off into the distance in front of you. So the triangle is symbolic, the triangle pointing down is symbolic of the feminine, of the womb, of the chalice, and it's an arrow, really. It's an arrow pointing down, that triangle that points down. So it points down and it points down into the depths. So into the depths of self, into the depths of life, into the depths of the mysteries and the unknown elements of what we're yet to explore and discover about life itself or about ourselves. So I see this tunnel, this triangular tunnel leading off into the distance in front of you. It feels like it is also going down, so it's not only going, well, in front, and it's not going straight ahead. It actually feels like it's going slightly down, like a tunnel that's going, digging or angled down into the earth. So it's actually wanting to take you deeper. And because it's a tunnel, because it's a path, because it's moving ahead, it makes me feel like there's something calling you deeper into your life's path and deeper into the journey of your life and where you're actually going, the direction that you're taking moving forward. That there might be something here that the feeling that I have is this feeling tired and annoyed, perhaps, or even irritated of playing around on the surface and just skimming the surface of things. And there might be perhaps some superficial relationships or things that you do in your life or things that you're a part of that feel a bit like they just sort of skim the surface, and it doesn't feel like it's enough anymore. There's that sort of feeling here, which actually makes me feel emotional because I feel like some ties are probably being cut or some detachments are being made to the things and the energies that just skim the surface, they're superficial, because there is this call to go deeper. So as you detach and distance yourself from the things that skim the surface, and I feel like this is not new. I feel like you've already been choosing to go deeper and choosing to step away from some of the superficial things perhaps you used to do maybe even 5 or 10 years ago, that this has been something that you've been perhaps committing to more and more each day, each month, each year, as you move deeper and as you access your wisdom, is the feeling. So you're being called down into yourself, into your life's path. Now, as I'm talking about this and the breaking away from things that skim the surface, I mean, there are surface things that we have to sort of deal with as part of life, but there are also things skimming the surface where we can actually choose not to be a part of. And it feels like puddles that just sit on the top of the earth. And these puddles, they're sort of really shiny, like mirrors. For some reason, these are activating and moving energy in the back of your heart. So there's energy at the back of your heart, which is talking about the past. Past energies that have been stored in your heart are being stirred and triggered or shifting through here, through the back of your heart. So I feel this energy, so this shimmery surface energy, like puddles of water or pools of glass, liquid glass, are moving energy here in the back of your heart. So what I feel like I want to do is actually part this energy, because it feels like it's sort of gathered here at the back of the heart. I feel I want to part it, like I'm parting this stuff on the surface. And so parting those curtains so we can look deeper, look into the window. And as I look into the window now that's revealed at the back of your heart, it's like the window looks into your heart, and now I can see through to the other side of your heart where this triangular shaped tunnel is moving off into the distance here. So something's opened, but something's also shifted here in the back of your heart. And now this pull at your heart here at the front is stronger than before. That's pulling you deeper into this part of your life. Now, what it does feel like very much is connected with your life's path, your life's purpose, the direction you're going, the timeline of where you're moving forward to in your life, your future, we could say. It's very much about your path, where you're going, where you're walking is a big part of this. And I feel there might be really deep questions that you've probably been asking yourself, at least for the last 6 to 12 months, Nicki, about getting more from life and feeling a deeper connection to life, and maybe even especially to your life's path. That I feel these questions are also part of moving down from the surface and down into the depths. So what can you discover here in the depths? Well, anything really, because down here it's a place of discovery, it's a place of mystery, it's dark, it's unknown, it's uncharted territory. So also, Nicki, you may find yourself moving into something new that you haven't done before. And this is part of testing and challenging yourself to move into that unknown territory and see what you're capable of and what you're able to do. And then the last energy coming in is just grounding down into your feet, and it feels like grounding the depth that calls you down into your body, down into your feet, and into the present moment. So there's a lot of energy collecting at your feet, almost like a cloud of sort of red-brown cloud-like energy that's sort of pooling around your feet to help ground you here and ground you in this place of where you're moving forward to. So let's just add a card here and see here at the end, see what this wants to add here as we finish up. So the best card to add here, Nicki, is this from the first deck, and it's Manifest. So this is interesting. This is energy coming down, and look, at steps coming down. So it's not necessarily a tunnel here as such as how I've been seeing it, but this particular card is showing steps down, and really is not much different. And we've also got this shape in here of the bottom part of the triangle that's taking you down and calling you really down into the depths. This energy is about bringing things down into form. So bringing things from like ideas into realities. This is the process of manifestation. So this is a deep calling. It's calling you down into yourself, out of the pie in the sky, airy-fairy, ungrounded reality, the things that skim the surface, and you're being called into new depths now. So and there's chalice in this. Yeah, this is so symbolic of what's been talked about. So there is a chalice here. The chalice is coming down into form. So it starts as a little idea, just a little wispy energy. Then it starts looking more like a chalice, more like a chalice, more like a chalice. And now here she is solid and formed, and she's holding the chalice. So this is you holding your power and holding your depth, and then carrying that with you down into wherever it is that you're going. So bring your ideas and projects into reality. What you are creating is manifesting. Take action, birth the new in physical form, transformation and abundance. So if you have this deck, Nicki, you could probably go to this card if you want to, card 54, because this is very symbolic and very aligned with that energy that I've been talking about. So thank you so much. Thanks, Nicki. Thanks for your support, and I trust this supports you. Namaste. Okay, let's put these cards back first. And we're going back to the pot, and we'll see who's next. Next person is this person. And this person is Jane Corlett. Jane, take a nice big breath, please. And I feel you in a vehicle, and you're moving forward, but I feel like you're dropped down into a vehicle, like a fast car of some sort, like a sports car, a convertible, and you've dropped down into this vehicle, and the vehicle's revving, it's ready to go. And let's just grab a card and then we'll tune further into that. So we've got Healing Energy card 1, and it's reflections. This is about things coming together. So it's the pieces coming into place now. It's the pieces coming into position. It's the pieces of the puzzle slotting in to where they go in the puzzle. It's finding its place, finding its position. And I feel like there's something here for you about this, about finding your place, finding your position. There's energy moving here in your throat as I'm talking about this. So I feel like there's a quest for truth and a quest to know who you are. There's probably stuff here that you need to communicate and express and talk about, or let people know about. If you're applying for something or putting yourself out there, then it's going to require some confidence in communication. So I feel that energy very strong here. It's moving very, very deeply here in your throat. And there's also a heaviness that's coming in over your head, which feels like perhaps fear or burden, an uncertainty, perhaps a doubt that you haven't around this, that you're thinking about or that you're preparing to sort of drive into. So I feel that energy wants to actually shift away and lift up and away. And I feel it like fumes, like steam lifting off your head, lifting off your shoulders, lifting from your throat. So all this steam energy is coming up. It's really sitting here around your collarbone, around the front and the back, and lifting up from your whole head here as you breathe out and let go. So there's heavy energy that's shifting away from here, and as it shifts away from here, you sit even further down in the driver's seat of this sports car, this convertible. It feels bright red, and red is the color of physicality. So this is about bringing your dreams, your desires, your hopes, your ideas, your projects into physical form. So the red is physical, so this is very grounding. It's dropping you down into this grounding energy as well. And you're here in the driver's seat and you're revving up the vehicle, and you're revving up yourself. And I feel like you're revving up yourself and you're preparing yourself to go. So you're preparing yourself with communication, perhaps getting clear about what it is that you want or the next steps that you want to take. This feels like a new project or something that's really tied into abundance that you're moving into, or that you're seeking, or that you're exploring or discovering. There's that sort of abundant energy here. And as you're revving up and you're getting things revved up in yourself, and you've got your hands really solidly gripped on the steering wheel, you're ready to steer yourself and go in the direction that you need to go. And I feel that you're revving. So then you take the handbrake off, and you now start moving. Now you're already revved up, so you're already ready to go. And it's almost like you're hitting the ground running, like rev off with the handbrake, and off she goes, really fast. So there is this hitting the ground running. There's this fast feeling here. Even the energy is coming through very fast. So I feel like I'm probably speaking very quickly, but that's part of the energy as well. So you're moving fast into wherever it is that you're going. Now the screen here, the windscreen, feels clear. So there's a clarity here, a clarity of at least knowing in some way where to go next. You might not know where to go the whole journey, but it's like things will be revealed as you go. And it feels like you're going from one stop to the next, to the next stop, to the next stop. And then that stop will then bring the guidance or the direction or the clarity you need to go to know where to go for the next stop. So it's like you're going now from point A and you're on your way to point B. And at point B, you're going to be given the map that takes you to point C. And then when you get to part C, you're going to be given the map that takes you to part D. And so it's like it all reveals itself as you go. So trust in the signs and the map that you're getting, the direction that you're getting, the clarity as you go from one point to the next. A checkpoint feels like a checkpoint, almost like you're going to checkpoint A. So you've left checkpoint A, you're going to checkpoint B, maybe to fuel up, and you might not know where you're going, but there's a map there, and that takes you then to checkpoint C. So trust in the points that you get to on this journey that will probably be break times or recharge times. It could just be short refueling time that will then give you or provide the clarity that you need to know where the next checkpoint is. So trust in that journey, because yeah, the energy behind this is very, very strong and very fast, Jane, as well. So it might happen really quite quickly. Okay, let's grab a card to add here. So the best card to add to finish this part off for you, Jane, is this. It's another from the first deck, which is very popular today. New Vibration, card 38. You keep your idea rooted in reality. Ground, connect, new vibrations coming in. You are the one who must take the action, nurturing, do the nurturing and follow through. So it's up to you. And this is very much aligned with what I was talking about, because it's you in the driver's seat. It's you taking the direction. It's you taking the initiative. It's you taking the brake off. It's you accelerating forward. It's you trusting in the checkpoints that you reach along the way. And these might be quite physical. It might be a physical journey that you're going on, but it doesn't have to be, you know, like where you're physically going somewhere in a vehicle. This could definitely represent you moving forward with projects and endeavors and things in your life. So there's new energy in here that's coming in with this particular card, and it's just showing that now is a time of nurturing and almost, what would you say, like tapping into that new energy that sits within you and getting to know it, you know, feeling it through, feeling it into manifestation, feeling its motives and its reasons, and the why, how, the when, that kind of thing. Get to know this new energy that's brewing and growing inside you like a seed. So that's that. Thanks, Jane. Thanks for your support, and I trust this resonates with you. Namaste. Okay, let's pop these cards back in the deck, and we'll go to the next person. Oops, we're going to take that person that jumped right out of the pot, and that person that jumped out is KantiDevi Wedad. Nice big breath, please. And welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining me today. This is the personal healing event for some of my patrons for January 2024. So I trust you've been led here for a reason, and maybe something that I share might support you or resonate with you at this time. So Kanti, nice big breath. Your best card to start this connection is this. Now I'm feeling a lot of peace coming in. There's a lot of settledness, contentment, peace. There's energy moving here in the throat as I'm speaking. We've got playful card, playfulness, card 48. And this is surrender to the moment, laugh, enjoy life, lift your spirits, creativity, surrender, clear your mind, make time to play and lighten up. So this is an uplifting card. Uplifting, playful, creative is the energy that comes through with this. So I'm feeling a real contented, a real deep sense of peace and contentment as I tune into your energy, Kanti. So something feels like a tension has been broken, or a breakthrough has been reached, or a conflict has been resolved. There is something that feels like almost like the weapons have been laid down, something's been laid to rest. Maybe something that had been stirring up an angst or an anxiety in you, or issues within you for some time. I feel like there's something that's now laid to rest now. So I feel since I've connected with you last time that something has shifted out. A tension has been released, you know, like holding a rubber band as tight as it can go. It's like it breaks, but actually is a release of that tension. So something's released, a tension has been released, and this peace is enveloping you. This peace, this contentment, this acceptance really is part of it too. So it comes in as this blanket of comfort, of contentment, and it feels very grounding. So like a really comfortable blanket, as a loving, soft blanket has been put over your shoulders, and it's just bringing this comfort that's coming down, and it feels down as in grounding you. So there is a bit of energy stirring here in your throat, and I feel like there is something from whatever's shifted since I connected with you last, which feels like it was perhaps around the end of December, like maybe when I did this healing event last time. So from the end of December till here at the end of January, something feels like it has shifted. And it feels like this new peace and contentment, or this shift in tension that has occurred for you, this healing, this breakthrough of sorts, is now requiring you to find a new way to communicate. And it feels like it's around how you communicate with and about yourself. So how you talk about yourself, something shifted here. It feels very personal, like the personal communication that you're making, which could be very private, and things that you communicate with yourself, but these do ripple out or reflect out into our communications in general as well. So something's shifting here in regards to how you communicate with and about yourself, and it's connected with this shift in tension. So as if you, for example, have spent your whole life speaking a certain way about yourself or to yourself, and then something shifts, a tension breaks, then there's to get out of that habit or that pattern, a new way of communicating comes in. And that's what I feel you're establishing now. Maybe trying to establish, that's what I was going to say. Establishing now, which is a new way of speaking, a new way of treating, a new way of communicating and listening to yourself that is different to before. So congratulations, because something quite huge and deeply personal has shifted in this last month for you, Kanti. I feel like burdens have also shifted, and whatever this tension is that you've managed to break through and find peace with, I feel like it actually had arms that linked into other areas of your life that you probably didn't realize, but they were all connected to this one insecurity or this one issue. So it was feeding out into other areas of your life, and as you've released the tension of that one issue, it's actually also, it feels like it's resolving or rippling out like dominoes out into other areas of your life as well. And I feel like a lot of that's going to reveal itself in the coming weeks and months. So well done. Looks like you've done a lot of work, and there's a lot shifting now for you on that. So let's grab a card to finish this off for you, Kanti. And we'll go with this one. It's another first card from the first deck. And it's accomplishment. And this is very much aligned with what I've been talking about. It's in the rest category, which feels peaceful. And it says, be proud of what you've achieved. Take some time to enjoy the view of where you find yourself. So this is really letting things sink in and letting things be within you, especially that shift in the new feeling of the lack of, perhaps, of tension, which is a good thing, and feeling what that feels like within you and making a bit of time for that. This says pause, retreat, catch your breath, settle and ground. So this is you. Yes, you might still have a ways to go with the things that you want to do in your life, but now is the time to stop and sit and contemplate and really sit in, integrate that new reality of where you find yourself. So it's beautiful. Okay, thanks so much, Kanti. Thanks for your support, and I trust this resonates. Namaste. Okay, we have 3 more people on the list today. So the next person is this person. And it's you, Robin. Welcome back, Robin. And I don't know if you're still there watching and listening, but welcome and thank you for coming back to our Patreon. And let's see what's loudest in your energy today. So the best card to start this off is, oh, okay. We've got this, the first of the second deck out of all this time. New beginnings. This is very interesting because I feel, oh, hi, Robin. I feel this wind. I feel a force of wind that's moving from the right and sort of pulling you off. It feels like pulling you off balance, pulling you off track, because I feel like this leaning feeling over to the side. This card itself is card 75, New Beginnings, and says walk forward, courage, fullness, ripe fertility, creativity, birth, a bright future ahead, the unknown, uncertainty. Prepare, ready, take action and move. This is about letting the past go, that stuff here that you've been holding onto at the back of your body, and letting the light pull you forward into the new parts of your life. And she's fully pregnant, like she's about to pop out this baby. So it's also showing that there are some new things that are preparing to birth in your life, and pretty soon. So New Beginnings, great card to get. Now, very interesting, this energy that's real. It's a force that's pushing you over to the side. And I feel this sense of being off balance, especially in regards to the left and the right sides. There's this strong lean over to the left. And it's like, if you plant a tree or a bush or something in a wind tunnel where the winds tend to come from this one direction, and as this tree grows, it tends to grow with a sort of lean on it, just to try and, probably from the winds blowing over, or even to try and stay upright. And sometimes they do this too as they're growing down like mountains or steep inclines, that they tend to grow a bit on the side to keep their balance. So there's this sense that this force, like wind, it feels like wind. Now, wind is very interesting because wind, the air element, is very much connected with the mind. So it makes me feel like there's been perhaps some negativity or some excessive unhealthy thoughts or unsupportive thoughts or fear or that have been sort of blowing at you. I feel like they've sort of come from you and around and come back at you somehow, almost like coming out of your mind and is sweeping around and then blowing here off the side. So there's a strong mental energy here. So with that coming to our attention, I feel the winds calm down. The winds that you've been sending out, these thoughts that you've been perhaps, what would you say, consumed by, these are quieting down just by bringing this up. So I feel the source, they come out like in, feels like it comes out here from the left temple, like really fine, like a cone shape, like the point of a cone. And then as it leaves you and it widens, and then it comes back around and it sweeps you offside. So I feel like your thoughts haven't probably been supporting your balance of late. And this is not something that's recent, because this sort of just feels like it's maybe been building or brewing up for some time, some months perhaps. So with this, talking about this, I can feel the energy, the wind, the thoughts that are coming out from your left temple for some reason. I feel like they're quietening down. I feel like now the winds that have been coming over, they've quietened down too. So I feel less like this sort of pulling over to the left, being blown over, and more that I can sort of sit a little bit more upright, although it still feels your energy's a bit off balance here. So there's this pull to the left, which suggests that you may have noticed this pull to your past and finding hard perhaps to get past things from the past. Maybe a part of you's wanting to live back in the past when things were different, when things were perhaps better for you in your life. That's a pretty classic sign of things being out of balance, when we're struggling to be present, as fully present in the moment as we could be. And because the lean is to the left, it shows me that there's probably a pull to the past, and remembering and reliving things from the past, perhaps in excess, and probably a disconnect from the future, or rejection of that may be showing up as well. There could also be some stuff showing up in your body, Robin, of like issues down the left side or issues down the right side. So if you had bumps or things going on in your body, it's probably favouring one side over the other. That's pretty classic of being out of balance as well. So with the wind that stopped, let's now bring your body back into balance. So what I want to do is bring now the lean to the left, which doesn't feel as strong as before because the force is backed off, but just bringing your body now to the right. So bringing your shoulders over to the right, bringing your hips over to the right, and your spine into the center. So really consciously feeling that, that physical shift, especially with hips and shoulders, because this is part of what sort of knocks us out and then keeps our spine out of whack or out of that balance or aligned space. So bringing you over to the right, shoulders, hips especially. Spine matches up, bringing your head over as well. And feeling the even distribution of weight in your body. So sitting here, if you can stand, that might even be better. If you can feel the weight of your body on both of your feet, both of your legs, maybe feel the support of your legs holding your body up, and feel the balance of the left and the right sides, where you're not pulled over one side more than the other, and you're not tilting forward or back more than the other, but in balance. So with this space of balance now, let's come up to your head, this head space, and especially here in the left temple. It's so weird. Little hole here, like if your head, if your mind was a balloon and there's a little pinhole, it feels like a pinhole here, right at your left temple. And in this pinhole is where this air's been leaking, and then as it leaks and it comes out and it spins around, it just is bigger and bigger, and then it's been blowing you over. So there's this hole here. There's a loss of energy. There's a perhaps a loss of power. Perhaps there's something that you're giving your power away to as well that could be draining you, draining the energy in here. So I feel like I want to plug this up, like because I do a lot of pottery, feels like just a little piece of clay made into a little cone shape, and just pointing the little cone in there and just patting it in like a little stopper here, just helps stop the loss of energy, the energy that you're losing through this spot here at your left temple. So with that, I feel now drawn to your head. So I'm being drawn very much from temple to temple, so across, really across your third eye, and then around probably pretty much your whole hairline except temple to temple, and then your whole, you know, where your scalp is basically, and being drawn to. And in here it feels like lots of little hole pricks in here. So there's loss of power here, loss of energy that's very mental in its focus. And I feel like now I just want to smooth over your whole scalp. It's like you've got no hair. And I'm not picturing your hair at all, but your whole scalp is just all these little pinholes. So just sweeping over that with like an energy like a putty that's just filling up all those holes and where you've been losing your energy. I wouldn't be surprised if you've been feeling quite disconnected, because there's a loss of energy that's also affecting your crown chakra here. When the crown chakra is blocked, it tends to show up as disconnection or feeling separate or alone. So you've probably been feeling quite disconnected from spirit and disconnected from yourself. It makes me feel emotional, actually, that if that's how you've been feeling in some way. So covering up all these holes and then bringing our attention, almost like swooping the energy up here now to the crown. So the crown chakra here is your center for connection, and feeling this kind of like we're bringing all the putty and the clay up into your crown to make a bit of a volcano shape, to really encourage this energy to come up and through into the crown. And now as this comes up and we get it into the right position, it's like this push of energy comes up, and it feels like fire. It feels like energy that's been brewing, and the pressure that's been building in the head and in the body for a little while, that hasn't had a healthy way of release. It's been releasing through these pinholes and this loss of air and this loss of power. But now it's channeled out from where it needs to be released, which is through the crown. And it comes up like a beam of light, like fire, that just like a laser fire light that just pushes right up into the universe, like as far as you can imagine. It just pushes you up and connects into it plugs you back in and helps you connect back to yourself, back to spirit, back to your life. So this feels really uplifting, because I can feel now that we got you back into balance, it's almost like this a string, and it pulls you up, and it's pulling your body up from feeling low and heavy and out of balance. So there's this uplifting feeling that's pulling you up, and a refocus too, a refocus on your connections rather than focusing on the things that have been keeping you out of balance. So I feel like that's like a redirection of focus and a redirection of attention. So this feels really uplifting. Your body feels nice and balanced and really aligned, and this thirst for being plugged back in and reconnected. So let's grab a card, see what this wants to add here for you, Robin. And Whew. Okay, so this is really nice and uplifting now. There's a strong energy that wants to come in or is coming into your body from this, that is uplifting and almost like a redirection, a refocus of purpose on the things that maybe you'd forgotten about that are truly important. So the best card to add here is another from the second deck. You're really starting the trend here. And it's card 99, Remove the Mask. It says, reveal the truth, uncovered, stop masking, real. Don't pretend or distract yourself. Be honest, deep healing, your true power emerging, and show yourself. This is so much in alignment with what I've been talking about. So even that energy of the serpent, you know, like that beam of light that's coming up, shooting up from your body, but especially within your crown, like a volcanic fiery laser that's coming out from within your body and out and up, is very much like a serpent. And this serpent energy too aligns with the spine and helps bring things back into alignment. So don't pretend or distract yourself. It's time to refocus on what is most important to you at this time. And what I'm feeling is linked with that is your connections. So what are you connected to? Who are you connected to? Where are you disconnected or feeling disconnected, and how can you plug back in if that's what you need to do? How can you redirect your attention to those empowering things that connect you, and maybe the things that you've forgotten about for a little while? So thank you so much, Robin. I trust this supports you, and lots of love. Thanks for your support. Namaste. Okay, let's pop these cards back. So Robin started the break in the Healing Energy Card 1 trend. So let's see where we go next. I've got 2 more people here on the list. And the next person is Carol White. Carol, nice big breath, and let's see which card wants to start your connection today. So the best card is, we'll go with this. It's another second card. Thanks, Robin. And it's this Soften Harshness card 89. It says, stop thinking the worst, find a solution for the disruption, settle conflicts, a resolution, hope, gentleness, soften the sharp edges, and calm down. So there is a feeling of softness here, and something that may have become really sharp, or sharp and harsh and brutal and uncomfortable, is wanting to shift and wanting to soften. So it feels a bit like, you know, like sometimes when our knives get blunt, are getting too blunt, we sharpen those knife edges and really sharpen those edges. I feel like this is the opposite. You know, like I also think in pottery, because pottery, you know, with clay, it's very like mud, and then once it goes in the kiln, it can have little sharp parts in it that, because it's turned from clay into ceramic, it can be a bit sharp. So then you've got to sort of rub 2 ceramic pieces together or use a bit of sandpaper to soften that sharp edge, and that's what it's reminding me of. So the opposite of sharpening a knife is to soften the sharp edge. So soften the sharp edge. This feels like it's cutting down through your body. So I feel like this energy, like a blade that's cutting down here on the left side of your, so just out from the left side of your ear and around your heart and down to your right breast, actually. And it feels like this sharp edge through here that we need to soften. It feels a bit like a blade of some sort, like an axe or something that's come through around here. It's actually cutting you. So it feels like it's cutting you, and it's just too sharp. So something's coming in and cutting you. And it feels like, you know, a machete or something that you're moving through the jungle and you're cutting a path for yourself. But actually it's come round and cut you. And so not only do we need to soften this harsh, sharp edge, the sharp edge of this blade, but we also need to heal this cut, because it feels like a cut. And I'm seeing the blood coming to the surface here. It feels like a track or a cut of into your skin. So the blade, so it feels like two elements here, almost like you're holding this blade like an axe, because it's like an axe rounded sort of shape. And I feel like we need to sort of soften this and then put this down. This feels like you're trying to keep up with things, is the feeling here with this blade. So popping this down, so we don't actually need to soften it, we just need to put it down. You don't need to be carrying this. I feel like it's come back and maybe hurt yourself with what you've been carrying. Something backfired perhaps. So now dealing with this wound in here that's connected with the heart. So it's connected with burden, heart, nurturing, and maybe connected with the bloodline, because it is showing a line of blood here that I'm seeing. So my spiritual surgeon Marion steps forward and he places his hand, his very large hands of light, places it down here on your left, or over here on your left shoulder, and then just gently brings it down over this cut. And as he's moving down, it's like removing that wound, if you like. So moving down and out of your body with his hand. And now where this sort of scar is all this light that's coming out from inside. So it's like a beam of light that's coming along the side, that's coming out from this particular wound. And now the wound is no more, and it's just all blended into your body. And Marion steps back. So I just thank him for coming forward. And now moving down to your hips. And I feel like something is shifting and twisting at your hips, where you might be considering other directions, other options, other paths, other things, other opportunities, other doorways. So it feels like your hips are twisting at the moment, twisting and moving from one thought to the next in regards to what should you do, which direction should I take, should I make changes, should I stay where I am, this kind of thing. So with this sort of twisting at the hips, there feels to be a bit of an uncertainty and perhaps even a bit of insecurity about your current position, or the insecurity about where you are at this time. So I just feel like I want to just, I put my hands down on your hips and just slowly stop them twisting and bring them into center. And there's a lot of healing energy coming out of my hands at the moment, going into your hips to help strengthen your current direction and bring confidence, help you feel a sense of confidence and clarity about this direction that you find yourself, this direction of where you find yourself. And then this energy comes down from your hips, down your legs, down to your feet, and then anchors down into the earth like two rods coming down, extending from your legs out from your feet and down into the ground, and really helping ground you where you are at this time. And then there's energy that comes up from your hips, from this energy, and moves up your sides, up through your body, up the side of your head, and up through your crown, and then extends or connects together as one first, and then it extends up into the universe above. It feels very wood-like, so very tree trunk wood-like, this energy coming through, so very grounding. So there's an alignment that's taking place as well, and a groundedness that's keeping you grounded to the earth, but also connected to the earth, connected to your body, connected to this moment and to the universe above. And then it comes through and wants to widen through your shoulders to really help widen you. So we've got this energy that's on the vertical that's really stretching you through, and then across your shoulders, like if we extend out your arms, there's like a rod of energy that's coming through from your arms. It's helping expand expand your energy to the side. So this is more about your path and your life itself. The vertical is your connections, and the horizontal is your path, past, present, future, your timeline. So this groundedness, this connection, this alignment, and this connecting in the middle, really, it's almost like a cross, isn't it? This wooden cross that extends up and then extends out. So bringing you into that center point. So that's very interesting. Okay, let's grab a card, see what this wants to add to finish up here for you, Carol. Thank you so much. So the best card is this. It's another from the second deck. And here are our trees. Card 65, isolate the problem. And it says, change the habit, understand the problem, make the changes. And these are definitely highlighting that tree energy. So the tree energy coming down, rooting you into the ground, and then stretching up as well, but then across. And really the across feeling in this particular illustration feels across the top of the earth, which is where our path is. So this is our timeline. So this very much aligns with that as well. So it suggests there's something shifting under the surface, and there might be a problem, which comes back to that sort of sharp energy, a problem that you're currently dealing with, Carol, that you're trying to resolve or trying to figure out in some way. So I trust that something that's shared supports you in moving through that. And thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Namaste. Okay, let's pop these cards back. Then I'm going to connect with our last person for today. Before I do, I want to thank you for joining me, and thank you to everyone who's supporting my work on Patreon and everyone who's been a part of this healing event. Thank you. If you would like to be a part of this next month, then I look forward to connecting with you. You can join up on my website at, you can find the link in the video, the Patreon website. At the $50 level or higher, you automatically have access to this particular event. And if you are a part of this event and you'd like to be a part of it again next month, then I look forward to connecting with you again. That would be awesome. So the last person on my list today is Susan Sonsteng. Last but not least, dear Susan, let's take a nice big breath. And let's see. I thought it was too cool to be outside today because it's very windy. It's so hot in here. Whew, it's like a little hothouse. Okay, Susan, nice big breath. The best card to start your connection is this from Healing Energy Cards Deck 1. And we have Mental Emergence. So this is a mental power, a new thought, a new way of thinking, new beliefs, new truths that want to push forward from your mind and out into your life. That there is something new in your mind that wants to emerge. This could be also a breaking of old beliefs and old mental structures and systems that maybe you believed for some time but actually aren't true or don't resonate with you any longer. And breaking down of those beliefs and that programming perhaps of your past. I do feel that probably all of us, if not most of us, are programmed. And I feel like this is just part of life, you know, society, our parents, our role models, life itself, the trends and the propaganda of the governing bodies. All this stuff sort of comes into play in our life very early and has us think a certain way or believe a certain way. And so as we get a bit older and a little wiser and we start questioning things about why we automatically think this way, do I actually really think this way, can actually be quite the interesting, what would you say, like a breakthrough, a transformation that we can experience that pushes us out of that wheel of sort of that programmed way of thinking, that belief system, and breaks that down as we tap further into truths and truths that we discover, you know. So I feel like there is something shifting for you, Susan, especially mentally, but very sort of truth belief, truth/belief kind of in that energy feels to be shifting for you, and something new is wanting to emerge and come to the fore. And I feel like with this new comes new ideas, new inspirations, things that pull you forward. It feels a bit little dreamy too, this energy. But when our mind is full of like programming and beliefs and rigid ways of thinking, it actually tends to barricade off our mind, and we become less open to new ideas and our imaginings and dreams and you know, these sort of more dreamy ideas that want to come in. They seem to be squashed and unable to tap into when we've got a lot of, it sort of feels like how I'm visualizing this is like a prison in the mind, and It's very difficult for that new creative idea, sort of imagining sort of energy come in. They're more abstract to come in when our mind is all jailed. So I feel like you've broken out of the jail, and you continue to break out of the jail here, Susan, mentally, in regards to these old rigid ways that you used to think or that you used to believe about yourself, about others, about life, about society, about certain types of people. Hi everyone, hello. I feel like there's this breaking down. So it feels, the energy's feeling very mental at this time, which I'm just trying to explain it as best as I can. Very much like breaking out of the jail of your mind. And so I see you breaking out. You've found the door of the jail of your mind, and you've set yourself free, like a bird finding the door to the cage, and the bird's now free. It's very much like that, actually. So you've left the jail behind, you've left the cage behind, and I feel you have freed yourself in many ways, and this is probably something that you're still doing. So this is really important to keep in mind for now, Susan, and what you've got going on now in your life. And what I'm feeling as I'm focusing on this sort of now energy. So I feel a heavy energy that's coming in the back of your heart. What does this feel like? It feels a pushing down feeling, almost like a big chunk of wood pushing down just on the back of your heart. So pushing down rather than into. So pushing down, so it feels heavy coming down from the top. And so this feels like burden that you carry from in your heart from the past. And and I feel that this is part of what's contributing to the trapped energy that you felt, that you're breaking free from, that you're breaking out of. The clarity on this is really interesting and strange. So it's sort of coming in spasmodically and kind of a little all over the place. So I feel like there's perhaps a clarity issue that's coming forward as well. And maybe this feeling of being a bit scattered, because it feels like the energy just feels a bit scattered as I'm tuning in as well. Like it doesn't feel like that clear of a direction or a moving of the energy. So it feels a bit more spasmodic, a bit more scattered, a bit more disjointed. So there's that sort of feeling too. And I can't help but keep being drawn back to this jail cage energy. Like it feels like you've flown free from it, but it's still there somehow, because if you've flown free from it, then I shouldn't keep getting this visual of this cage and this prison cell, this mental prison cell, but I keep coming back to it. So there's something here that we need to look at. It feels like it sits deep in your head, deep in your mind, almost deep down at the back of your skull, and almost at the back of your throat, the back of your skull. So right down here at the back is where it sits. Now this is the back of the third eye chakra, so this is probably suggesting that there's old trust issues connected here. And so it still sits here, even though you freed yourself from it. Now, have you really freed yourself from it? Because now I'm seeing this bird's kind of like pigeons, perhaps going out of the cage, but then coming back in, and then going out and coming back in. So there's this in-out, this freedom feeling, but the cage still stays. So I feel like I want to take the cage out, and I can feel the top of the cage. It's like sitting just at the very back of your crown chakra, and it's like this little ring here at the top of this cage, this prison. It's the same sort of thing. And I feel like I just want to pull this out of your head and pull it out of the base of your skull here. And it's probably about this big, so about a foot, and it's black, like really blackened, and actually something quite powerful is shifting out the back of your head. So just very gently dropping this down to the earth on the left, where it just soaks back into the earth and back into energy. And now something's opened up through the back of your crown here, the back of your head. So something feels really open, and there's air now that's coming in. And it's like a new room has been opened up, or, if you were living in a tiny little house, it's like an extension of the house, and there's more room to explore and more room to play now. So some more room's been added here to your mind, to your energy. So going into this place, it feels like an extension of a house, of the house of your mind. So going in there, and I feel like there are some new things that can be planted in here, and new seeds that can be planted in the back of your mind to help extend and expand your mind as well, especially as you move out of the rigidity and the restraints of the programming and the old beliefs that you have been shifting through. As you move out of that, then you plant new seeds of truth. And I feel like these little plants, like pot plants, all around the back of this room in your mind, and putting seeds in these pots and watering these pots, and they seem to be sitting right in front of almost a semicircle of windows. So light is coming in and the seeds have been planted, and there's a lot of room in here now. There's a lot of room in your mind, which brings room into your life for new things to come in. And then just drawn down to your lower back here, Susan. So there's just energy that's shifting through here. It feels like water that wants to wash away. So there's probably old emotional energy that you've sort of blocked up or backed up here in your lower back. So I feel the water sort of like pulling the plug on a bathtub and just letting all this water out that has been backing up and blocking up in there and bottling up. So letting that go down the drain and out in that area. Okay, that feels better. So I'm very much drawn to the space and the new room that you've got in your mind. So see how you go with that, Susan. Trust that makes some sense. So it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So hopefully it makes sense to you. That is definitely the main thing. I've just got to trust what I'm picking up and trust that it makes some sense to you. So hopefully it does. All right, let's add our last card here to finish this off for you, Susan. And we've got this from the first deck here, the Harvest. Okay, this is really nice actually. This is enjoying the fruits of your labour and your hard work. And this is eating the fruits off the tree. You know, you've planted the seeds, you've worked hard, you've built the crop, if you like, and you've harvested. You're eating the apple, and in this apple that you can enjoy are the seeds that we have just literally planted in the back of your mind, let's say, in this room, this extension that we've just connected with. So in this fruit, in this apple that you're enjoying the flavour of and you're really savouring, are the seeds for the next phase. So enjoy the harvest of what you're harvesting, and know that even though this might feel like, sort of the end in some ways, a completion of sorts, there are new beginnings that are also contained within this harvest and within these fruits of your labour and your effort and your hard work. So well done on reaching this point, and a new journey is being seeded now. So thank you. Thanks, Susan. Thanks for your support, and I do trust this resonates. Namaste. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I trust that you found this helpful, and I'll be back again, I think tomorrow actually, for the healing list event for patrons. So I might see you then. I'm also about to go straight over to my Facebook and pull some cards for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday after I get a drink. So might see you over there in a few minutes. Take care of yourself, and thank you so much again for being here. Thank you. Namaste. Bye. Oops. How do I get out? Yep.